What's up, YouTube? You're Inside the Edge, and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Patriots. But before I start off this video, shout out to UConn, guys. Shout out to UConn. I'm a Duke fan, but shout out to shout out to UConn, man. We showed out this year. Really good season, and Connecticut is back on the map. And we're going viral right now. It looks like UConn last night, it's been a whole destruction on that entire campus. Like, UConn fans, we're going wild right now. But today we're going to talk about football. Again, guys, I don't know where to dive in. I'm just going to get right into it. Well, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Patriots Nation, this is the channel for you. I'm going to do a lot of Patriots content. This is the channel for you. All right, but let's get into it, guys, because there's a lot to dive into. I don't even know where to begin. So today we're going to talk about Bill Belichick. We're going to talk about what's going on with the Patriots right now. I'm seeing a lot of reports. Again, I'm on Twitter. There's so much going on. My phone is alerting right now. So much is going on. Because again, I'm seeing UConn. Everybody talking about UConn, the big win. Next thing you know, I see Patriots. And I'm seeing Bill Belichick, Patriots. I'm like, we signed somebody. What's up? So now I'm seeing all these articles. Some of it's fake news. You can't believe every single article and stuff. But it's a lot of reports saying that Bill Belichick is willing to trade Mac Jones in this NFL offseason. In 2023, Bill Belichick has been shopping Mac Jones around. So the teams that is being reported is, I'm seeing that it was the Commanders, the Buccaneers, the Texans, and the Raiders. And just hearing these teams, I believe that these reports could be right, just because it adds up when you really look at these teams, because these teams need a quarterback. I can, but my whole thing with Bill Belichick is, why are we trading Mac Jones? Again, I'll just tell you guys my opinion. Last year was a disaster. I'm not saying New England, the entire team. I think offensively we struggled, but defensively, I think our defense was pretty good last year. I think our defense was great last year. Our special teams kind of failed us, especially the last game of the season against the Bills. That messed us up. But I think our offense that's what we struggled with the most. Our offense wasn't fluid. I felt like we didn't run enough plays. When you really think about it, when you really think of the players we had, I'm really thinking in my head, did Kendrick Bourne play last year? Did Jonnu Smith play last year? I'm really questioning, what's going on in New England. Last year was just a disaster when you really look at just as an offense. There was just no consistency with anyone. Ramon Stevenson was the best offensive player we had last year, pretty much. He has a lot of receptions, more than receivers on our team. And then him, being a running back and carrying the workload as a runner, he did it all. But this year, it's a new leaf. We got some new players. We got Juju Smith in, Tyquan Thornton. He's going to be implemented more into the offense. We got Bill O'Brien. We got a whole new offensive coordinator. So things is looking like things is going to flip around in New England. This is definitely going to be a new team. So with the progression that we've had, what we've had already, again, the NFL draft didn't happen yet, which I'm hoping we get Zay Flowers. I don't know, how did it go from, again, all right, yeah, let me just take it a step back. From the beginning of last season, Bill Belichick was raving about Mac Jones. And from what I know, from what was being reported, Bill Belichick had a little bit of a distaste for Mac Jones when people were talking in Bill Belichick's ear saying that Mac Jones was talking to other coaching staff, people outside of the organization, about what's going on in New England. Basically, Bill Belichick felt like Mac Jones was being unloyal. He felt like Mac Jones wasn't all in. So that's what rubbed Bill Belichick the wrong way. And I also heard reports too when Brian Hoyer played against that Packers game, and he went down, and Zappe was put in, and Zappe, he had a good game for what he did. I think they were saying that there were reports saying that the locker room was pretty much split. The locker room was split between Mac Jones and Zappe. There were people that wanted Zappe to be the quarterback moving forward. So I know there was a little bit of friction with that. And then the biggest thing to elaborate, I was actually going to do a video on this, was the whole thing with Bill Belichick when the reporter asked him, is Mac Jones your starting quarterback next year? And his response simply was, everyone will play. And so I didn't know what to think of it when I seen that. So that was going to be a whole nother video that I was going to actually talk about, because I thought that was kind of strange. But I also thought, like, okay, maybe Bill Belichick is just trying to create a beast in Mac Jones to, you know, get that intensity up and kind of use that as fuel heading into, you know, the preseason next year, because it's going to be some competition. So it's looking like it's going to be Zappy and Mac. In my opinion, I think Mac is going to win out that position. But if you ask me, I don't think we should trade. If you ask me, I don't think we should trade Mac Jones. You know, he has 2 years left on his contract. I still think that there's still a lot of room for improvement. I don't think. I mean, when you really look at last year, I feel like I'm gonna defend Mac Jones for this, but I'm not saying that the entire offense was his fault of why they lacked. I mean, when you really look at it, Bill Belichick did not put Mac Jones in the right position last year, due to the fact that we didn't have an offensive coordinator. That showed. You know, Devontae Parker, I felt like, you know, he was, you know, he had like 2 separate games where he had concussions where he wasn't really available in a lot of big games. You have to add that you got to add that factor in. Like, he didn't have enough weapons around him. Mac Jones didn't have an offensive coordinator. So when you put all that together, of course he struggled. I mean, this guy he was like a deer in headlights. Like our offense just did not look good. No matter how much we prepped on offense all last year, things just did not work out. So when I look at Mac Jones, I think that, at least looking at this season, what we have on paper, you know, with Juju Smith, Taquan, you know, Thornton, Kendrick Bourne, you know, Devontae Parker, I think Mac Jones is going to have a much better season last year. I mean, last year Mac Jones threw for 14 touchdowns. I mean, 14, like, that's crazy. This year, I feel like we're going to turn over a new leaf where I think Mac Jones is going to progress. I think he's not going to regress. I think he's going to progress this year. I think Mac Jones should be able to at least throw 20 touchdowns, at least pass for 3,000 yards, man. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like just trading Mac Jones just doesn't make sense. I don't agree with this. And again, this could all be smoke and mirrors of what we're being, as far as what's being reported. Like, I'm everywhere right now. Like, I'm literally on Yahoo Sports, and I'm seeing that. So Mike Florio, that's like the big name that a lot of people are kind of connecting to this source, because he broke the story. He's an NFL insider, pretty legit. He's legit. But I'm seeing that Mac Jones could be traded with Trey Lance. That could be a trade that may happen. So again, guys, there's just a whole lot going on. And if this is really true, if Mac Jones is being shopped right now, I just don't understand it. From what I know, Robert Kraft, he loves Mac Jones, but Bill Belichick, from what we heard throughout the season, I don't think Bill Belichick is really too fond of Mac Jones. He's turned off by him, and that press conference showed, you know, it showed it all when Bill Belichick, he couldn't even acknowledge, you know, Mac Jones to be the starting quarterback. So but with that being said, guys, I feel like I might have left out a lot of loops, but it was hard to make this video because this went from left field, guys. I'm thinking, all right, we got Mac Jones, we got some pieces around him, we're building around him, and we hear, you know, this happens. You know, we're hearing this report. So again, guys, I want to hear what you guys think, man. How do you guys feel about Bill Belichick and him shopping Mac Jones, if this is true reports? Because in my opinion, if this is true, guys, I don't see how Mac Jones is going to play New England next year, knowing that this is something that has really happened. Because once you know your head coach don't believe in you, as much as the team may believe in you, when your head coach don't believe in you, it's a different dynamic. And I just don't see Mac Jones overcoming this. I think this will, like, sit in his spirit where this is going to mess him up next year, man. So with that being said, guys, I want to hear what you guys think about this whole saga that's happening with Mac Jones and Bill Belichick. You know, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, to be honest, man. Patriot Nation, man, I want to hear your thoughts. I'm discombobulated making this video. Like, I don't know what to think.